Demand and supply, market equilibrium. In the previous chapters, we have covered the concepts of demand and supply. In this chapter, we will explore the interactions between demand and supply, which would determine the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity of a good. Market demand. Assume that there are 3 consumers in the market demanding apples, and they are Ming, Keng, and Man. This demand table represents their demand for apples. When apples are sold at $6 each, Ming would buy 10, Keng would buy 7, and Man would buy 5. Hence, when apples are sold at $6 each, the market quantity demanded of apples would be 22 apples. When apples are sold at $7 each, the market quantity demanded of apples would be Ming's at 8, Keng's at 6, and Man's at 4. The sum is 18. Likewise, we can sum up the quantity demanded of apples by each consumer at different specific price levels to obtain the market demand for a good. Likewise, we can obtain the market demand curve by adding the demand of Ming, Keng, and Man. Market supply. On the supply side, we'll assume that there are 3 apple suppliers in the entire market, and we can represent their supply in a supply table. When apples are sold at $6 each, Farmer A would produce 2, Farmer B would produce 3, and Farmer C would produce 1. Hence, when apples are sold at $6 each, the market quantity supplied would be 6. When the price is $7 each, the market quantity supplied would be Farmer A's at 4, Farmer B's at 4, and Farmer C's at 2, which sums up to 10. Similar to the market demand table, we can take the sum of the quantity supplied of apples by different producers at different specific price levels to obtain a market supply table. In order to obtain the market supply curve of apples, we add up the values of farmers A, B, and C horizontally. Market equilibrium. If we put the demand curve and the supply curve together, we would observe that the market quantity demanded and quantity supplied are both 14 when the price is $8. When the market quantity demanded is equivalent to the market quantity supplied, the market has reached an equilibrium where the consumer's purchasing expectations and the producer's production expectations are both satisfied. When the market is in equilibrium, it does not have a tendency to change. The corresponding price where the market demand curve and the market supply curve intersect is called the equilibrium price. The corresponding quantity is called the equilibrium quantity. Hence, in this example, the equilibrium price of apples is $8 and the equilibrium quantity is 14 apples per week. Market disequilibrium. The market relies on the price mechanism to allocate scarce resources. If the market quantity demanded is not equal to the market quantity supplied, the market price would change accordingly until the market reaches equilibrium. For example, when apples are sold at $6 each, the market quantity demanded is 22 apples and the market quantity supplied is 6 apples. When the price of a good is lower than the equilibrium price, quantity demanded is larger than quantity supplied. In economics, this is called shortage. When a shortage occurs in the market transaction quantity would be equivalent to the quantity supplied, 6 apples, which is less than the quantity supplied, 22 apples. Hence, some consumers' demand of apples are not satisfied in the market. When the current price, $6, is lower than the equilibrium price, $8, there are some consumers who are willing to pay more than $6 for an apple, so the price of apples would go up until quantity demanded matches quantity supplied. In another scenario, apples are sold at $10 each, and the market quantity demanded of apples is 6, where the market quantity supplied is 22. When the price of a good is higher than the equilibrium price, quantity supplied would be larger than quantity demanded. In economics, this is called surplus. When a surplus occurs, the market transaction would be equivalent to the quantity demanded, 6 apples, which is less than the quantity supplied, 22 apples. Hence, there are producers who cannot sell all of their apples. The current price, $10, is higher than the equilibrium price, $8, implying that some producers are willing to sell their apples at a lower price. Hence, the price of apples would tend to drop until quantity demanded matches quantity supplied. Therefore, when the market quantity demanded is not equal to the market quantity supplied, the market price would have a tendency to self-adjust until the market quantity demanded equals to the market quantity supplied. This mechanism of resource allocation, of using price adjustment, is called the market mechanism in economics.